9 holes of golf? Dad folded his newspaper into a tight, narrow column. The headmaster is out of town. We're meeting with the dean, Dick Warr. I hope he lives up to his name, I said. Try behaving for once. I stopped behaving myself a long time ago. The needle fanned over 75. Before Dad noticed, I decelerated slightly. Just graduate. Dad scanned his newspaper. Finish up for your mother, the poor woman. She doesn't like to show her face in public anymore. So I'm the reason Mom leaves the apartment in disguise? Go figure. Your brother never speaks to me that way. Dad cracked the side of my head with the journal, his weapon of choice. I don't think he meant to hurt me, but the impact and surprise caused me to swerve. The corner of the paper struck my right eye, knocking it shut, and for a brief instant, I let go of the wheel. I imagined us hitting the guardrail, the Cadillac embraced by an elbow of metal. Get control of yourself, for God's sake! Dad pulled the steering wheel back in line. For the rest of the trip, I half daydreamed and half drove, the car flipping forward and crushing Dad's body, leaving me to surgically excise what little was left of my dad from the wreckage, snapping his legs off cleanly at the knees. No blood, just bones and sockets, wide as a whale's tooth. On one knee, I'd scrimshaw the word left, and on the other, right, neat and orderly. During long trips, the legs could be packed into one of those cases ventriloquists use to store their dummies. At last, Dad would no longer be in pain. His linen pants would drape and rest like opera curtains on the carpeted car floor. Pull over at the next rest stop. Time for me to drive. Our near accident had been his fault. For some parents, having children meant full absolution from any future mistakes. My father wouldn't permit himself to be wrong. He shifted the blame of misplaced scissors, rising interest rates, and iceless ice cube trays all onto Rigel and me. Dad cheated on our mom and told our mom it was her fault he cheated on her. My mother really had left our apartment in disguise. Decoyed in a rotating masquerade of ginger-haired wigs and cat's-eye sunglasses, she'd chased after my dad and his harem. Mom and I had spent the earlier part of that summer at our cottage in Maine. Our mornings devoted to relaxing on wicker porch chairs, watching the Iran-Contra hearings, mixing champagne with grapefruit juice. As the men on TV bragged and lied, denying their accomplishments, my mother turned the sound to mute and spoke to me about my father's indiscretions. Of all your father's mistresses, my favorite was this knock-kneed Eastern European hussy he would lug around on business trips, this woman Gayla, a dozen years his junior. Called her his administrative aide. Gayla the flying whore is what I called her. I followed them once on a non-stop to the Caymans. Your father didn't notice me in the red wig coming down the aisle to claim my seat in coach. He was preoccupied with his first-class hot towels, with brushing the white cloth against her neck. That woman took forever to get off the plane, commandeering the aisle, prattling on to the flight crew while the rest of us cooled our heels. The way that woman laughed with her teeth. I never laughed that way. My mother swept the champagne flute to her lips, then confirmed that she was ready to hunt a new breed of Gaylas. From under her wicker seat, Mom pulled out a hat box, opened the top, and withdrew a mass of chocolate ringlets. My latest disguise. She twirled the hairpiece on her fist and said, When you were little, I caught you and Rigel with one of my old wigs, remember? The hair all matted like a rat's nest. We used it to play tag, chasing each other then forcing the loser into the wig. Rigel had made up this game as a way of torturing me. A brittle net material covered the inside of the hairpiece, and my brother, the bully, liked to pull it over my nose and push the scratchy lining into my face. The suffocation became my own definition of blindness. Not an absence of light, but a prickling concealment, a rough and painful mask. I guess we both played games with the damn thing, Mom said. Mom was wrong to tell me about Dad, to let me know that he cheated and to make me afraid of the ways he could hurt me. He was a swindler passing for a saint, and as I sat beside him in his big American luxury car, I thought, Be careful, Dad. I'm on to you. My father had his wild streak, but he drove his Cadillac slow and steady like a grandma rocking a baby to sleep. It took us all afternoon to reach our destination. We exited the highway, and a wooden historical marker welcomed my father and me to the small Atlantic village of Bellingham, spelled with an E. Another sign, this one metal and posted just a few yards away, welcomed us to Bellingham.